timing with the song, too, right? 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. All right, we're live. What's going on? We're live out here at Tin Roof, Wednesday, September the 29th, 2021. Appreciate you guys coming out. Appreciate you all tuned in digitally as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, where we at again. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Very excited to be back out here at Tin Roof in Columbia in the Vista. 50-cent wings, $3 drafts. Great night to have a night and great night to talk balls against South Carolina right now, sitting at 2-2. Gets ready for this weekend against the Troy Trojans. I was about to say Kentucky. That was the game we just played. It's crazy. I feel like I've been talking Kentucky all week long, and I'm so excited. Of course, tomorrow's podcast has already been recorded, and I was so excited for it because we have been spending the entire week talking last weekend, what went right, mostly what went wrong in that ball game, and now we actually get to look ahead to football this weekend as South Carolina returns home, taking on the Troy Trojans. Like I mentioned, a 3:30 kickoff at Williams-Brice Stadium. Shout out to sound guy Phil. He's back in the building. Everybody's in the building. Tip your bartenders, of course, and taking your questions and your comments. If you could just get me tonight, just me, no guest, you would be probably not very surprised at all to realize how busy people are during football season. So no guest tonight. We're going to take your questions, your comments, everything else. For those in attendance, you can text in 843-790-3377. You can also call that number, or if you'd like to comment your questions here on digitally, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're tuned in, Twitch, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's see, 5:07. Again, apologize for the late start, guys. We had some technical difficulties on my end with the MacBook. That's on me. But I see Travis Well, Jay Bird, Brian Dean, Panic Ritter. Panic Ritter is in the building. What is going on, Adam Ritter? You are here as well. Again, appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate those who have come out. And again, we're going to probably fill in as we go. But very excited, again, to talk tonight. Like I said, we're talking Troy. I'm sick of talking Kentucky. I'm sick of talking last weekend and what happened. Obviously, the game did not go the way that we all wanted. The Rowdy Rooster cut is 0-1, so we hopefully are going to bounce back this week and get a big dub. But excited for the opportunity for South Carolina to rebound, face adversity, respond to adversity the right way, and get a big W against the Troy Trojans. Now, I want to start this on a hot note, and those who tune into our daily live stream, noon to 2, the Daily Crow, you guys already know how we do, but I'm a big fan of collegefootballnews.com. Again, those tuned in right now, I am a big fan of collegefootballnews.com, and I may read this prediction again as we continue to fill in here at Tin Roof in the Vista in Columbia. But collegefootballnews.com do a really good job. I've been following them since I was probably in middle school, really, really long time. And they put out game predictions for each game. So I really like getting their insight and seeing what their opinions are and what their predictions are for how the Gamecocks will fare in the upcoming game that weekend. So this is what they have to say about the Troy game. And if you're not familiar, the way they pose this is why one team will win, why the other team will win, and then they say, here's what's going to happen. So this is collegefootballnews.com, South Carolina Troy, their prediction as I take a sip real quick. Apparently we have pulled out the aprons here at Tin Roof. The aprons are out. The aprons are out. The aprons are the wave. They're the move tonight. Anyways, collegefootballnews.com. Here's what they have to say. Why Troy will win. The pass rush is a killer. The offensive side might be hit or miss, but the Trojan defense has been suffocating. It's allowing fewer than 100 rushing yards per game and 244 overall yards per outing, helped by 18 sacks in 4 games. They got a really, really good pass rusher, guys. His name escapes me. Javon Solomon. 9.5 tackles for loss for Javon Solomon and 5.5 sacks for Solomon on the year. One of the best pass rushers in all of college football. So they've been very good up front. So South Carolina's having problems putting points on the board. It rolled through EIU, but it scored a total of just 43 points over the last 3 games. The pass protection has been a problem, and the Trojans will take advantage. However, ... Why South Carolina will win. The Troy offense can't get moving well enough. The running game hasn't done much of anything over the last 3 games, and that's against Liberty, who got punched by Syracuse's ground attack, Southern Miss, and against ULM. The South Carolina defense has been a plus, mostly against the pass. If Troy can't crank up the run, it's not going to do anything offensively. Now, here's what they say. What's going to happen? South Carolina Troy, this is collegefootballnews.com. Here's what's going to happen in their opinion. The 2 defenses are going to take over, which is great to hear because the under 43.5 is our best bet for the game. They say the 2 defenses will take over. Troy's defense is going to keep the game from getting out of hand. but the South Carolina running game will be steady enough to get a few points on the board. The Trojan offense will have its chances to take over, but it will stall time and time again. It's not going to be pretty, but South Carolina will take a 3-2 start. CollegeFootballNews.com's prediction, South Carolina 26, Troy 13, which sounds about right. Honestly, that sounds about right. I haven't locked in my prediction yet, but I think an ugly, low-scoring game. I think that's probably what you're going to see Saturday at Williams-Brice. But they've got South Carolina getting the W, 26-13. Again, what does that really matter? I don't know. You tell me. But I always enjoy getting their perspective, their predictions, everything else. And 26-13, that's what they've got the Gamecocks locked in this weekend against the Troy Trojans. Again, guys, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. Of course, since it's just me up here tonight, we will take a couple of breaks throughout this because I really don't want to sit up here and just ramble for 2 hours straight. We already did that earlier today. But, no, seriously, appreciate y'all coming out. We're out here. What's going on, my man? Appreciate you. Packed house. Just packed. Yes. Everybody's so busy on a Wednesday. No, normally we will fill in a little bit later. 5 is a little early to start. Whatever. It's all good. We love it. Again, 50-cent wings, $3 drafts. I myself am enjoying a $3 draft. So, yeah. 3:30 kickoff on Saturday. We can talk about something different, right? What's your favorite kickoff time? We love night games, but a hot take is I'm really glad this is a 3:30 game and not another night game because, man, it's just such a long day. I mean, by the time I'm going into the game and it's 6:30, I think the over-under I set last weekend for cold beverages deleted, I think it was like 10.5, and we obliterated that number. The over was the play. So kind of glad 3:30 kick. It won't be quite as, maybe 10.5 is a better number for a 3:30 game versus a 7 o'clock game. But, no, it should be a good time. Hoping to see a good crowd. Obviously, Oscar Delp going to be in the building. # we want Delp. Oscar Delp will be in the building. So we'll see what happens with that. Got to use the tight end more on Saturday. But, again, we'd love to take you guys' questions. Corey Gardner says on Facebook, he says he loves 3:30 games. I do too. I think it's a perfect time because you have the day to tailgate, then you have the game, and then you still have the night if you want to go out. So it actually works out pretty well. You can come out to Tin Roof Saturday night. Why not? Why not? So works out fairly well. Again, 843-790-3377. Like I told you guys, collegefootballnews.com. Picking the Gamecocks to win 26-13. 26-13. They've got all the games, by the way, if you guys want to know any other predictions. They have all the games predicted, all the SEC games. They've got Bama beating Ole Miss 45-30, which right on the spread. Right on the spread. They've got Vandy beating UConn by 17 points. Let's see what they got, Auburn, LSU. I took Auburn plus 3.5. I don't know if I'm a little nervous about that pick. They got LSU beating Auburn 27-24. So boom, that cashes. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Jay Bird says, "What's up? Was Aquandre White at running back?" Yeah, I don't know. Didn't even touch the football last weekend. That's it's funny. I've already, like I said, recorded the show for tomorrow and talking Troy, and it's really nice. Again, I was excited. I'm excited sitting here right now because I feel like we're finally moved past, or at least I am, closing the book on last weekend. It did not go the way we wanted. We all get that. We understand that. It was ugly. It was brutal. But there are 8 more games to play, and this is a big one this weekend. And it's a huge 3-game stretch upcoming, man, with Troy this weekend, Tennessee on the road, and then Vandy. I mean, 2 of those 3 you feel like should be no-brainer W's. And if South Carolina can figure things out even just slightly offensively, I mean, Tennessee is not, nothing to be scared of in my mind. So, I mean, you're realistically looking. You can start 5-2, which is exactly where I picked you in the preseason to start. And I don't know, maybe that's why I haven't freaked out so badly this week about the Kentucky game, because unfortunately exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. Even though I spent all week last week trying to inject perspective and keep expectations realistic and make sure everybody knew that Kentucky's a good football team and Mark Stoops a good football coach, and that game Saturday was not a quote-unquote must-win, as so many labeled it. But against my advice, many of you did label it as a must-win, and a lot of you, Shane Beamer coming out yesterday saying the sky's not falling. Well, that's because so many fans are acting like it is, acting like the season's over. South Carolina's got nothing left to play for. They don't have a chance to make a bowl game. And the fact of the matter is this: I picked South Carolina to lose to Kentucky in the preseason and make a bowl game. I mean, you look right now, Kentucky's a far better team than Tennessee. I think they're far better than Mizzou. You could argue they're better than Auburn. So still a lot of good football left to play. There's still a lot of football left. You got to make adjustments. You got to respond to adversity the right way. That's a no-brainer, obviously, in this game against Troy. And certainly this is one I don't think Gamecock fans should be taking lightly. The spread is 7 points for a reason. The Gamecocks are only a 7-point favorite. What's crazy about that line, too, is we're only talking about the fact South Carolina's favored by 7. What we're not talking about is that the line opened up as the Gamecocks favored by 9, and money came in on Troy, and it dropped. Sound guy Phil, you have a great night, my friend. Appreciate you. Yeah, sound guy Phil is out of the building. But, no, so South Carolina opened as a 9-point favorite, and the money came in on the Troy Trojans. So there are obviously people out there that think this is going to be a close game, and I think that's fair. Unfortunately, the last time you played a Sun Belt opponent, dare I be the one to remind you, the last time you played a Sun Belt opponent or an opponent, on your home field was the Appalachian State Mountaineers. And who can forget that eventful night at Williams-Brice Stadium for sure. So, again, 843-790-3377, taking your questions, your comments. You want to text that number, you can. Again, I'll say it a little slower. It's 843-790-3377. You're more than welcome to text that number. I knew football season was truly back, though, after Saturday and after Saturday night. I knew that it was truly back. And what do I mean by that, you may say? Well, the voicemails and the DMs that I got and the comments I got were scary, to say the least. Some people that were very upset. Which is crazy, though. After we win, you get like 3 or 4 voicemails, maybe like 5 or 6, actually. After we lose, 20, 30 voicemails, just flooding the voicemail line. Absolutely insane. But I knew Carolina football was like, we're back after the loss to Kentucky. It's like, here we go. This feels like the last couple of years. I had a guy call in, leave me a voicemail after the game saying some very, very mean things to me. DMs, everything else. So, but no, I think it's good to turn the page. Obviously, Corey says, I still think we got to keep giving the ball to Kevin Harris, see if we can get the rust knocked off him. Yeah, I think you're seeing the impacts of the, of the back procedure. The back procedure for sure. All right, we actually got a call. We'll jump to the phone lines real quick. Here we go. Okay, Robbie Davis calling in. All right, Robbie, what's going on? You're live here at Tin Roof, man. What's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Personally, I think coming into this week, we need to play with a fire in our gut that we haven't had in a while. And I believe that if we do that, go into this game saying we're not going to let Troy push us around like we did Eastern Illinois. Because I did notice that when I went to the Eastern Illinois game, they pushed us around like we were little kids. And me being a SEC fan, but most importantly a Gamecock fan, I'm like, this should not be happening. I felt like I was watching us play App State all over again, and I was like, oh, crap, this isn't good. And then we just started getting it rolling. But in my opinion, we waited too long to get it rolling, and we need to come into this game, and we need to hit them in the mouth, show them they are not going to come into our stadium and push us around. We're going to be the ones doing the pushing around, and I'm really hoping that Juju McDowell gets to start this week because I think he deserves it, in my opinion, from what I've seen in the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I would argue Juju McDowell is our best player on offense right now. At least most explosive, most exciting to watch. So.
Yeah, I think if our offensive line can get it together, Juju McDowell can give our opponents fit if he's given the chance. Which, if it was me, I'd give him the chance because he's proven that he can get the job done regardless of who's on the field.
For sure. I agree. Got to give it to the hot hand. Juju seems like to be the hot hand. So.
Yeah, and I think people are going a little crazy with this whole. With the Kentucky game is over with. That was last week. So we got to look towards Troy because of the App State game and the Citadel game. I think this scares a lot of people. And they have a right to be upset because we honestly, on paper, should not lose to Troy, App State, or the Citadel on paper. But like I have told you, a couple months back, you don't win a game on paper. You win a game on the football field.
That's a fact. You don't win it in a casino. You don't win it on paper. You win it on the field. So South Carolina's going to go out and execute. Now, Robbie, I think you make great points, man. And I think this team will come out and play the right way. I think they'll attack. I'm not worried about that. And again, that will tell me everything I need to know about Shane Beamer as a head football coach. He can motivate this team, get them ready to play, attack the opponent the right way. That's all I want to see. So that's all I want to see. And I think if we do that, we'll be 3-2 after Saturday. Pretty simple. So, Robbie, I appreciate the call, man. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. Seriously, thank you.
You're welcome, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Take care. 843-790-3377. My man, I'm so happy to see you. Look what came in the mail. The merch, finally. The merch finally got here. The polo, yes. Got him a new game day polo. Finally. You know what that was packaged with, by the way? That was because I obviously got some stuff for me. That was packaged with I went ahead and ordered the All My Homies Hate Mike Bobo t-shirt. So I'm going to be rocking that for the Auburn game. I mean, it's a must. It's just a must. It's a must. It's a must. Again, 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. Matt Navallo on Facebook says, for those that think great coaches should be able to come in and take any team and make them amazing the first year, just want to remind you that Nick Saban's Alabama team lost to Louisiana Monroe in his first year coaching. Want to remind you Kirby Smart's Bulldogs lost to Vandy and Georgia Tech in his first year. Remind you Dabo Swinney's Clemson Tigers lost to TCU in his first year. Very good point. Very, very good point. Wow, perspective. Who'd have thunk? Unpopular thing this week. Unpopular thing. God, I've been putting out fires all week long. All week long. Fire Satterfield. He's done. He's cooked. 4 games in, done. Get him out. Hire somebody else. Hey, I'm pretty good at NCAA 14. I'll call plays. Carolina Titan says, Eric Douglas said during his interview, the run game not being able to get going is not because of the offensive line. That's hard to hear coming from a redshirt senior. Yeah, I think it's all of them. I won't just say it's only them. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. I mean, if there were just gaping holes up there, we'd be running the football well. That's a fact. So, love Eric, but, yeah. Let's see. Okay, this is a lot of questions in this text. A lot of questions in this text. It says, do you feel the offensive line needs to worry less about the scheme, more about getting a hat on the hat? Something's got to change. Something's got to change. You need to simplify things, so be it. Something's got to change, though. It's piss poor thus far. It is piss poor, for sure. It says Chaston Turnentine's the worst left tackle in years. How high do you think Luke Doty's ceiling is? I like Luke a lot. I think Luke played well. I mean, I thought he played well enough to win. He needs a run game. He needs a run game. We either need a run game or we need to just start throwing the ball 50 times a game. We got to make up our mind. The what? Oh, that's you. Oh, here we go. Okay, the worst left tackle in blank years. I don't know, man. It's been a while. He got really, funny story, too. He got really upset with me. Well, I mean, I just assume he did, but we posted that video. I had somebody send me the video of Turnentine from the Georgia game, and I was just like, I'm just going to post this clip. I mean, whatever. Who cares? And he, reposted it on his story, and I'm like, I'm not the one that went and made the play. You know what I mean? Like, that was you out there. I didn't do it. I'm just posting a highlight. Anyone can access this information. So don't act like I'm, going out of my way to call you out. Anyways, whatever. Hey, it's emotions running high, man. We're in the season. Emotions running high. At this point, is Aquandre Juju better than Kevin Marchand? I know what Kevin did last year, which is ironic you actually asked this and bring this up. So, again, is Quan White and Juju McDowell better than Kevin Harris and Marshawn Lloyd? Yeah, so one of my storylines going in this game, and again, most 90% of them around the offense, you got to figure out the running back rotation. And I don't care what Kevin Harris did last year. I don't care how many stars Marshawn Lloyd has, or had, I should say. But you got to get the most productive guys out on the field. And how can you keep Juju McDowell off the field at this point, what he's doing? And then Quan White, I mean, he didn't even touch the ball last week. I just don't want to see another week of Kevin Harris running it into a sea of bodies and getting stuffed. I don't want to see it. I don't know if Mike Bobo's scheme was better for Kevin Harris in regards to like the true I formation, ground and pound, which it kind of feels like that's the kind of style back Kevin is, which is totally fine. But I mean, it's you just got to play the most productive guys. I don't think you can keep playing 4 running backs a week either. Like you need to pick 2. You got to pick 2 guys. You can't get in a rhythm when one guy's getting 8 carries, one's getting 7 carries, one's getting 4 carries. It's like you got to pick a dude, man. Like you got to have a dude. Very Bobby Bentley-esque. But I would think Montario Hardesty knows what the hell he's doing. The guy played in the SEC. He played the position. So, yeah, I definitely think you need to slim things down and narrow it down for sure. Enigbare is drafted before or after the 15th and a half pick in the draft. I'm going to go after. That's a good over-under on your end. Has Pickens been developing accordingly? Dude, him and Birch both is just, especially Birch. God, what is? I mean, I don't know. I thought Pickens has been fine. I don't have any issue with Pickens. I mean, is he the? I'll tell you this: are we getting a 5-star result out of him? That's up for you to decide, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're a 5-star. That's why stars are just complete bullshit anyways. It's like if you're a 5-star, you should be coming in balling. Like it shouldn't be. I mean, I love Jalen Foster. Jalen Foster was a 2-star. It shouldn't be Jalen Foster making all these plays. It should be you, like the 5-star guy. Whatever. I mean, it just – and I don't care about stars, but it's just like at Carolina, it's like we don't get enough 5-stars to not develop them and miss on them. So that's like the whole Birch thing. I mean, there's a lot of season left. Birch can make some big plays, but, I mean, since he returned that pick against EIU, I mean, has he made a play? Has he made a tackle since? I mean, right. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. I love what I've seen from Brad Johnson. That's honestly probably like my favorite. The guys in the front 7, I like what Johnson's doing. He's actually one of my key matchups for tomorrow, or for on the show tomorrow. Why haven't we involved the tight ends more, like Beamer said in the preseason? Do you think the offensive line struggles contribute to that with him having to block more? I think definitely. But that's a great question. I mean, dude, I look like an idiot. I had Jaheim Bell listed as one of my key matchups. He didn't even catch a pass. So, yeah, and he was only targeted twice. So, I mean, that's why we lost. We didn't throw to Jaheim Bell. Yeah, they're just too good of players, too talented of a position group to not be putting up better numbers. I think I said it last week too. And listen, I like Nick Muse. I like Nick. I've met Nick in person. Nick's a cool dude, but I tell you, man, you're going to go on Instagram and post some picture, you better ball, bro. You better ball. Like, I don't care what you do. That's the thing. Like, with our players, I don't care. I don't care if you're in 5 points every night. I don't care if you're acting a fool on social media. But if you do that, you better be balling, So, if you're not, something got to change. Something's got to change. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Juju McDowell saying that Marcus Satterfield is a mastermind. It's funny, though. I mean, obviously you asked that jokingly. But everybody I talked to in the preseason, at least, that's, like, close to Carolina football, they all said the same thing. They said, like, this dude's an offensive genius. Like, he knows. I mean, let me say this, though. You don't work in the NFL if you're an idiot. You just don't. Like, I mean, it's very easy for us to sit here on this side, but – you're not coaching professional football if you just have no clue what you're talking about. So maybe it is too complicated because it doesn't make, especially on the O-line, it makes no sense. But yeah, there's got to be an adjustment for sure. Listen, everybody's to blame for last week in my mind. But see, that's the thing. I'm not just going to say, oh, it was just bad play calling. Was it a bad play call on 4th and 5 when we dropped the pass, hit us right in the chest? I mean, looked like a pretty good play call. He was open, right? Hit him in the chest. Got to make a play. So I think it's on play calling a bit. I think it's on personnel. Just everything. I mean, I think it's also on, Shane Beamer literally coming out yesterday and saying, hey, Luke Doty's not healthy yet, which is like wild, mind-blowing. Shane Beamer basically confirming without confirming that Luke Doty indeed break his foot when he said that, talking about, yeah, he's not going to run as fast a 40, you know, it's before he broke his foot. I don't know if he meant to say that, but it was like, okay, so he did break his foot. He didn't sprain his foot, he broke his foot. So, I mean, you know, Kevin Harris coming off a back procedure, Marshawn Lloyd coming off an ACL. You know, Josh Van's been a nice surprise, but no real threats on the outside to make a big play. What on God's green earth happened to Amarian Brown, the Georgia Tech kid? I have no idea. I thought he was going to be a stud. I will say I have heard some things this week that apparently, and again, this is just hearsay, but from the people I've talked to, apparently Beamer is planning on getting E.J. Jenkins and Amarian Brown a lot more involved sooner rather than later, which I'm hoping. I mean, at this point, you just got to start trying some different guys and see if they can make some plays. And, you know, you can't just keep rolling the same 11 out there and praying to God they figure out at some point. So could have much, yeah. Well, see, that's the funny thing. That's why I didn't hate the 4th down call. I mean, dude, this year one. Like, no matter, unless we lost every game out, but it's not going to happen. But, bro, it doesn't matter if you go 4-8, 5-7, 6. Nobody's getting fired. Like, go for it. Who gives a damn? Like, you know what I mean? Just go for it. Because if this was last year, Muschamp would have kicked the field goal. We'd have been all over him. So, I mean, what's the difference? You know, so, but when it doesn't work, you know, when it doesn't work, it's you know, people come down on you. So I get it. Listen, Marcus Satterfield might turn out to be a complete bum. He really might. No clue what he's doing, but, bro, there's no way you know that after 4 games. That people were comparing him to Kurt Roper, and I'm just like, come on, man. Like, you don't know that. I mean, you don't know that. You know, come on. Let them get some ball players in there. Let them get some athletes. You know, we got to see progression. That's a no-brainer. I mean, you can't just be horrid all year offensively and it's going to be okay. But give them a chance to prove it at least first. You know, give them a chance to fail. It's a damn shame, too. I mean, I said this earlier this week. It's a damn shame that we've spent all week talking about the offense instead of praising the defense, because the defense has been incredible. You know, I've been critical of the defense all season. I think I'm ready to put respect on the defense. They're balling. I mean, they gave you every opportunity to win. 3 turnovers. Just couldn't capitalize. So defense did all they could. I mean, they weren't great against the run game, but Kentucky's a very good team on the ground. So, you know, and I even said in pregame, I was talking to somebody at the tailgate. I was like, you know, I wanted to see the defensive line. I don't want to spend all week beating them up, because it's like we're beating up the offense. Like, the defense did enough. You hold an opponent to 16 points, and I think they had like 320 yards at home at night, you should win. And you force 3 turnovers, you should win, bottom line. But, I mean, I wanted to see the defensive line. Everybody says our D-line's elite, and they're good, but go out and prove it, you know. Stuff Kentucky. And it's like Kentucky ran for 230 yards. So, but, you know, I think that was just kind of the nature of that game. We held them in check in the passing game, but, you know, wasn't the defense's fault. So, yeah, Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, he's pretty damn good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he ran for, I think, like 150. So, no, he looked good. I mean, dude. Yeah. No, he looked good. I mean, they can run the football. There's no question. Kentucky can run the ball for sure. I mean, that's kind of their identity. I don't know if you heard Satterfield today. They asked him, what's y'all's identity? He says, we don't have one. Currently, we don't have one, which I appreciate his honesty, because we don't have one. We don't have an identity right now. That's what you've got to figure out. But I really hope Saturday against Troy, you know, you'll hear people talk about it in like business or anything else in life. And one of the traits of the great entrepreneurs out there is they fail very quickly. They fail quickly. They fail fast. So what I mean by that is, like, they don't just quit things, right? But they have that knack, that instinct of when something's not working, they scrap it and they go to something else. I think we've been able to do it with content. You know, if you start making content, it's not being received in a certain way, boom, you make an adjustment and you go. I hope Saturday against Troy, we fail quickly offensively. What I mean by that is, if we go out there early and the run's not working, just scrap it. I don't care. Just scrap it. You cannot, because if you spend all day trying to be stingy in the run game, what happens when you look up and it's 13-10 in the 4th quarter? I mean, you just can't do that. Like, I'd rather just, you know what, if we can't run it, to hell with it, spread it out, go 5 wide, and tell Josh Van, Jalen Brooks, Dak Joyner, Amarian Brown, E.J. Jenkins, Nick Muse, Jaheim Bell. Just tell them, you know what, we're going to give you all a chance to make a play. And if you don't make the play, then it's on you. That's it. You can't catch it. If you can't get open, it's on you. So, and maybe in theory, I guess maybe you can't necessarily, and that's easy to sit here and say versus like the coaches devising a game plan. But I'd rather just do that than this stupid run up the middle. And, you know what? Just because we were a really good running team last year, it doesn't mean we have to be one this year. It doesn't mean that we are going to be one. I know that it doesn't make any sense. It's maddening, but every season has its own story. And at some point, it's like, you know what? The story of last season was Kevin Harris ran for, 1,100, whatever yards, led the SEC in rushing. Maybe the story this season, we're just not a very good running team. I mean, I don't know. It's just – you can't just keep trying it over and over again, and it's just failing time and time and time again. With that being said, I mean, I would like to see us, at least in the beginning of the game, try to run because we should be able to run the ball. But you can't just spend all game trying and hoping and praying. Like, if you got to pass, you got to pass. That's it. We haven't been terrible in the pass game. We haven't been explosive, but we haven't been terrible. So, hey, let Luke Doty go through it 40 times and just see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Try something. I think the fan base can live with that. It's just, the conservative, vanilla, predictable play calling, it can't happen. It just can't happen. You got to take some risks, take some chances. I mean, why not? Why not? Let's see. Tyler Noel, why don't they try throwing the ball, spread them out, open up the run game? Can't hurt with the current state of play. What's crazy, man, is like I watch teams like Ole Miss, and they make offense look so easy. And it's like watching us, it's like pulling teeth. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. That's why Marcus Satterfield's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we're sitting here at Tin Roof drinking a Bud Light. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is definitely a game South Carolina should win, no question. But I think you need to obviously use this one to build some confidence. Build some confidence offensively. Build an identity. Because if you can do that, I think the defense is playing well enough, like I said, to go beat Tennessee the following weekend, beat Vandy obviously the following weekend. Then you're sitting at 5-2. And if you're doing that, who's going to sit there and say, I mean, even with a loss to Kentucky, 5-2 is a dream start for Shane Beamer. So anybody who says they wouldn't take 5-2 is out of their mind. Out of their mind. So let's see. Robert, the more you feed Kevin the ball, the better he's going to get. Juju's way too explosive, however, to not get the ball. Yeah, I agree 110%. I mean, you got to go with the hot hand. I want to see Kevin involved, but let's see. Reminder in 1-2. What did you type here? 1-2. Oh, 1 to 2 year coaching wonders. See Muschamp at Florida and South Carolina. McElwain at Florida. Yeah, I mean, I said that last week. It's like, with this, people calling this Kentucky game a must win. And, believe it or not, I think the record secondary this year, it's not the most important thing. It is very important, don't get me wrong, but it's not the most important thing because Muschamp won 6 in year 1 and 9 in year 2, but was the culture changing? I mean, it was rotten. It was rotten at the core. So, I mean, if that's not happening behind closed doors, that's really what matters in my mind. It also says, did you also notice the difference in the passing game, play calling the touchdown drive against Kentucky? It seemed to me like we went from 10 to 15-yard routes to the Kurt Roper passing game. So you're talking about that's the start the second half, right? Right. Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. Looked good. Why did we go away from it? Why did we go away from it? Sit Dog 9 comments. First time OC. He's learning on the job. Yeah, and that's the reality I think people don't want to hear too is I did not want South Carolina to hire Shane Beamer because I thought he was going to be a great head coach in his first season. I think you hired Beamer because you felt like he wants to be here. He wants to build up South Carolina, but he's learning on the job. I mean, it's you got to realize you hired a head coach who had never been a head coach, an offensive coordinator who had never called a play at the Power 5 level, a defensive coordinator who had never called a play at the Power 5 level. So, bro, you're getting exactly what you signed up for. Like, you're getting exactly what you signed up for. So, and I will say this, like, I don't know if you listen to the podcast today, it was very off the rails. I went on a rant for about 20 minutes because the people that just are talking Shane Beamer's job status and this, I mean, it's maddening. And I mean, I don't know if it's the people that were predicting 8-4 in the preseason like complete clowns. I mean, I tried to warn against that, but people don't listen to anything. So, but it's insanity, dude. Like, this is a project. It's a process. It's a rebuild. It's truly a rebuild. Truly a rebuild. So that's like, for me, like, I'm not going to judge Satterfield until – listen, Satterfield's not going to be fired after this year. There's just no way. And the fact I have to say that's insanity. But he's not. I'm going to give him at least until in the next season. Let him get some of their recruits in there, some playmakers. If you're not seeing any progress then, okay, I understand that. But, I mean – but I get it. Hey, I've learned very quickly. Fans just don't want to hear that we don't have good enough players. They just don't. They do not want to hear that excuse. They don't. But really, I look at the game this past weekend. It would have been a greater indictment for Kentucky to lose than it would have been for us losing the game. I mean, Kentucky's the one with the 9th-year head coach and this big-time transfer quarterback and these veteran offensive linemen, veteran running backs. Explosive, transfer receivers and a really good defense. Again, with a 9th-year head coach and building that program, it would have been a much greater indictment on them. I mean, we were expected to lose. We were a 6-point dog. I mean, it's just, I think South Carolina losing to Kentucky, though, is like the unforgivable sin for Gamecock fans. It's just you can lose to anybody else, but you cannot lose to Kentucky. But it's like, again, if you beat Tennessee, which is very realistic, and you take care of your business in the other two, Troy and Vandy, you start 5-2, who gives a damn? Like, who cares? Like, I don't know. Who cares? It's a great start, and your chances of getting into a bowl game, I think, are still very realistic. I think it's still very realistic to do a bowl game. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so how have the predictions from the preseason, how have they changed based off the first 4 games? Not just what we've done, but what the teams we played against have done. Well, I mean, I'll say this too: we got to get better on offense. Like, there's no question. We've got to make strides. We've got to, and I think we will. Like, I think we will get better week to week. I want to believe that. No, I don't think my project. Maybe if you want to swap out like Auburn and Mizzou, I think maybe Auburn's a little better than I thought they'd be. And Missouri, I'm shocked. They're taking out their starting quarterback. They're losing to Boston College. I mean, I don't know, man. But no, it hasn't changed a lot. I mean, I tell you this too, man. I picked 6-6, but I said many times in the preseason that I thought, gun to head, are we more of a 7-5 or a 5-7 team? Definitely 5-7. I think it's more than likely we have more problems and issues than we're giving credit for in the preseason, which I think is showing right now, by the way. I think it's showing right now. I mean, you think about it, dude. We're Luke Doty got hurt in the preseason. That's not something I was banking on happening. We're not good enough to overcome that type of a setback. That was his first start of the season on Saturday. So, but with that being said, though, I mean, I look at this next 3-game stretch. Yeah, I still, I picked you to start 5-2. I think without spoiling my score prediction, whatever. I'm not picking Troy to upset South Carolina. I mean, I think you're going to beat Troy and Vandy, no question. I think you are. Although I will tell you this. I think this weekend's. I think it's going to be a fight. I think it's going to be a battle. I mean, I don't think it's going to be an easy cakewalk win. And then Tennessee. I mean, what has Tennessee done to the first 4 games that would make me think that we don't have a great – I mean, it's a tough game, and Knoxville's a tough place to play, and it's been a tough place to play for us. But there's nothing that's really happened where I look at that Tennessee game and I'm, second-guessing or doubting that we can go win. Again, we need to show progression offensively. And, if you're really about progress and you're going to get better week to week to week, well, then you're going to get better from Kentucky to Troy, and your offense is going to look better. It just has to. So, and then you're going to get better from Troy to Tennessee. So, no, I mean, I wouldn't change my predictions right now. I mean, again, I had us beating Troy, Vandy, Tennessee, and then Auburn. So, maybe switch out Auburn, Mizzou. But I think getting to 6 is still very possible. Again, 5-7 is Probably about right, but I picked 6-6. I'll stick with 6-6 right now. I'll stick with 6-6. But we got to get better. But I mean, I think just anybody who thought there weren't going to be bumps in the road and that we're just going to be this well-oiled machine from week one, it's just not the case, man. It's not the case. It's a brand new coaching staff with, for lack of a better way of putting it, some people don't like to hear it, a ragtag bunch of guys that, we're just trying to get the absolute most out of them. Shane Beamer's trying to squeeze blood out of a rock. I mean, in some cases, you know what I mean? So, you got to work with what you got, and there's some areas on our team. The only way that you're going to solve those areas is recruiting. I mean, maybe the offensive linemen we have don't fit the scheme that Satterfield's running, and we got to go recruit other guys. I don't know. I don't know. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting start of the season for a lot of teams outside of us. Hey, at least we're not Florida State. They're 0-4, so at least we're not FSU. Tough. It'd be a tough year to have an FSU show. That's no question. It'd be a very tough year. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. It's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments. Carolina Titan, what happened to Zaquandre White? We talked about this a little bit earlier. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I have no idea. He's been MIA since that first game. So, again, 3:30 kickoff this Saturday. Gamecocks taking on the Troy Trojans at Williams-Brice Stadium. Going to be a very good time. We'll be out at Seawells yet again. What a tailgate it was this past weekend. What a tailgate. What a good time. Appreciate those also in the Horseshoe Club that showed their love and great hospitality in the Horseshoe Club. Appreciate those fine folks. Carolina Titan says, worst part of Mizzou defense is the run defense, and right now we cannot run the ball. I wonder if at any point this season we will figure out how to run the ball. I don't know if you guys saw the stat I posted, but in 3 games against FBS opponents this season, South Carolina has ran the ball for 83 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. So 83 yards in 3 FBS games. I mean, if I would have told you that in the preseason, you would have thought I was nuts, honestly. Crazy, man. 83 yards. So, offensive line, it starts there. Starts there with the offensive line. And I think definitely don't sleep on this Troy game. Do not sleep on this Troy team. Got some good players. They got some really good players on the defense. Javon Solomon, their bandit, I think he's tied or leading the country in sacks. He got 5.5 sacks through 4 games. He's got 9.5 tackles for loss in 4 games. So, we'll see. But no, really good. They got some good players. Troy's got some good players, and it'll be a test. It'll be a test for sure. How does South Carolina bounce back? How does South Carolina fight against adversity? That's really what I want to see more than anything. We're facing real adversity this week. Losing to Georgia, whatever. It was expected. Losing to Kentucky, though, the fan base is ready to burn it down. Some people are ready to burn it down. Fire Satterfield. Maybe Beamer's in over his head. Just pure madness from people. So we're facing real adversity, So I really want to see this team respond the right way. I want to see this team respond the right way, take it personally, go out there and take it out on Troy, and whatever that means, whether we're running the ball, throwing the ball, whatever defense keep doing their thing, just respond the right way, play the right way. So combat the adversity for sure. So we've been rocking and rolling here already. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. So, yeah, I want to say again, thanks. The tailgate's been a massive success. Seawells has been incredible. So many people coming by. So many people. I mean, game day has turned to pure chaos at this point, but it's great chaos. We love the chaos. Let's see. What would you like recruits such as Oscar Delp to see of our offense against Troy? Targeting the tight end more? And if we struggle with that, do you think Delp will see it as an opportunity for him to come in and help right away? Well, I mean, Nick Muse is gone after this year, so we're going to need help at tight end either way. But, yeah, certainly I think targeting the tight ends. And I mean, you're not going to create a game plan around a recruit who's going to be there visiting, but sure would help. Sure would help if the stars align and your tight ends had a big day. And obviously, I don't know if you guys saw October the 13th. That's the date where Oscar Delp will make his decision. And really, from what I've heard from some very dependable sources, it is going to come down to South Carolina, Georgia. It's going to be one of those 2 schools. Yeah, it's going to come down to Carolina, Georgia. And, yeah, we'll just, whatever he picks is fine. It's his decision. We'll see what kind of kid Oscar Delp is. Is he a guy that wants to go to Georgia and just win a ring and whatever, or does he want to come to Carolina and start a new tradition and get South Carolina back to where they were under Steve Spurrier? So we'll see. Again, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, because I think we're going to take a 5-minute break here. I need to reload on a Bud Light and take a piss. So 5-minute break. Again, just me tonight. No guests. You'd be surprised, or probably not surprised, how busy people are during the season. But again, taking your questions, your comments as we continue to look ahead. It's so funny. I started this tonight saying, okay, we're turning the page. We're not talking about Kentucky, and that's probably all we've been doing. So talking Troy, looking ahead to the game this weekend. What does South Carolina have to do to get to 3-2? I'm going to have my homies behind the bar pipe up some music, and we'll play it for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get this thing rocking and rolling once again. But, yeah, appreciate y'all coming out. Make sure you tip your bartenders, 50-cent wings, $3 drafts. Yeah, having a good time out here. So those tuned in digitally, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Everybody else in here, we'll kick it. We'll have us a good time. So. right before the second best team in the country. Yeah, no, you're right. No, we were just on Luke Doty. Only had one day of 11 on 11. Let's see. 843-790-3377. What's going on, guys? Appreciate y'all coming out. We got Beat Troy stickers up here, by the way. If anybody needs Beat Troy stickers, we got them. We got them. Again, we're talking Gamecocks. Who's pumped to play Troy? Kirk said he's fired up. He's ready. He can't wait for kickoff. Kirk can't wait. This is going to be number 348 in the 348th. Where's it rank out of 1 to 348? Most exciting. Most looking forward to. Kirk said it ranks about 349th. Oh my gosh. Hey, he'll be there though either way. He'll be there. Hey, we've had a lot of non-conference games against Wofford and, Citadel and whoever else. So, yeah, I know, right? You don't say that. You don't say those things. You don't say those things. Let's see. Yeah, God. Dude, I'll never, since we're on the topic, I'll never forget that 2015 game this is back when I gambled pretty heavy on sport. I mean, I gambled. I really gambled. I won a lot too. But I remember I went with Tripp. We were going to that game, and there was a spread on the game, shockingly enough. I don't know who put it up, but South Carolina, I think, was like a 21-point favorite over Citadel that day. And I remember looking at my buddy, and I'm just like, man, he's like, how you feel about the game? And obviously, I never bet on my own team. I was like, I'll tell you what, man. I was like, we ain't 3 touchdowns better than anybody. I was like, I'd hammered the Citadel plus 21. Sure enough, yeah, the rest is history. So, yeah. Good times. Good times. Nothing like being in the stadium for that one. What a great day that was, huh? What a great day. So, and my best friend, of course, who I was with, he's a Falcons fan, so his life, he's a Gamecock and a Falcons. His life's terrible. You can imagine. Yeah, I saw that. And I guess Kirk's a Falcon too, yeah. God, Kirk, how do you do it? How do you do it? A lot of disappointing birds in your life. I'm not even talking women either. A lot of disappointing birds in your life. Gosh. I really don't even have an NFL team. Like I really cling to, but all my energy is devoted to the South Carolina. And my dad's a Dolphins fan. And yeah, my dad. So when I say my dad's like a diehard, like, does he have to watch every game? Nah. I mean, if he missed a game, but whatever. But if there's one team you gotta, they're gonna claim, it's the Dolphins. My grandfather liked Zonka and Greasy, and my dad liked watching Marino. So it's just like, so I kind of watched some of the Dolphins growing up. I got Chad Pennington, Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, like those teams. And then of course the team that went 0-16 or whatever, 1-15 or something like that. So but I exerted all my energy into South Carolina Gamecocks athletics. So it was just kind of, but I moved to Charlotte now, August of 2015, right before the Panthers went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl. So I definitely bandwagoned. I had a Cam Newton dash shirt, because I had a Ryan Tannehill Dolphins jersey. I was rocking to the bar Slate, which shout out Slate. What a venue that was, and it is still. Yeah, we would go to, and again, this is way pre-TSUS days, way owning a business days. So when I moved to Charlotte, I learned very quickly what Sunday Fun Day was. I wasn't very familiar with it. And boy, we raged. I mean, Sundays in Charlotte, North Carolina, and really, I guess any city, bro, Sundays are more lit than Friday or Saturday night. Have you been to Charlotte? Dude, Charlotte's just college for adults, bro. That's all it is. You do the same thing. Like I said, I lived there for 4 years. You go to pool parties. People drink Thursday through Sunday. The only difference is you're working a 9 to 5 or doing whatever the hell you're doing. That's pretty much it. Doing the same thing. Yeah. So we would go to Slate, though, and I was rocking the Ryan Tannehill jersey and everything. And, Panthers are 2-0. Then they're 3-0. Then they're 5-0. Then they're 7. I'm like, Sundays became a pure madhouse. And everybody bandwagoned onto Cam Newton and the Panthers. It was fun. It was a good time. you know what I never am able to comprehend. I'm like, I don't know if you guys can tell this on the podcast on Monday, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm always exhausted after a game day for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like Sunday is like the chill day. I'm like, I don't know. How do people do this 2 days in a row? Like, exert this energy 2 days in a row. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Drink more, yes. Dude, I've definitely poured gasoline on the fire many times. I mean, I'll never forget walking to sleep one time, and we partied Saturday night, and somebody had left like a bottle of Fireball at my apartment. So I lived probably a 10-minute walk from the bar, so I was like, why not? I just poured up a solo cup of pure Fireball and just sipped on it walking to the bar. So this is after drinking the whole night before. So by the time I got to the bar, I mean, it was 1 o'clock. I was done. Just done. Dude was cooked. Just done. So drinking stories. That's good. Hey, when it's Troy week, you just talk drinking stories. Whatever. I tell you what, if things don't go our way Saturday, there's not enough booze in this city that's going to cure Gamecock fans' woes. I can tell you that. So I'm coming to Kirk's. He's got the liquor cabinet stocked. Kirk's going to start drinking. He's going to, yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'll be honest with you. All I could think about after we lost to Kentucky Saturday was getting home and going to the post game. I'm like, you know what? To hell with it. Win or lose, we booze. That's it. So, what else can you do? All right, let's talk football again. Let's see. It says, do you think it's perhaps a blessing in disguise for Satterfield that we're having issues on offense running the ball right now, so that once it finally clicks and gels together, it'll be proof that his schemes really do work and he's the real deal, silencing the naysayers? Also, I think many fans mistakenly interpreted Beamer's passion indication for instant success. Oh, yeah. Do I think it's a blessing in disguise that we suck on offense the first 4 weeks? No, not really. I mean, I guess I get what you're saying, but like I don't think I don't think they'd look at it that way. Let's see. Clayton White is the GOAT. I agree. Legend. Clayton White for president. Which one is more difficult rebuild, post Spurrier or post Muschamp? Oh, it's post Muschamp. It's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, would anybody disagree with that? I think it's post Muschamp. Dude, I feel like Muschamp did his damnedest to leave this thing in ruins. I mean, Spurrier, I get he dipped when he did, but I mean, the only reason Muschamp had so much success early is because Spurrier actually left good players there, you know? So, I mean, dude, with the end of the Muschamp era, when it was players going at coaches, going at fans, going at players, I mean, you know, you had freaking Javon Kinlaw talking on the fan base. That was messy. It was messy, dude. It was messy. So, I think the rebuild's tougher now than it was post Spurrier. So, just my opinion. I don't know. Dude, I got nothing but love for Coach Spurrier. I know people want to dog him. He's a quitter. He quit on us, but bro, he gave. I mean, we're still watching highlights from 2011 and 2013. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, we're still watching those highlights. It's like, is it going to be like 2050? And like, I'm going to be telling my grandkids about that one time Ace Sanders returned that punt for a touchdown. Like, give me something else. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love Ace, but give me something else, dude. So, and what's a shame too, man, is like, I've talked with other buddies about this. The way the Muschamp tenure ended, what sucks is you can't even really cling to the good memories of that tenure. Like, who in their man cave right now has a picture of Jake Bentley throwing a touchdown in the Outback Bowl framed? Like, nobody has that. Like, nobody clings to the 2018 Outback Bowl as this great memory, because it's like all you can think about from the Muschamp era is just negativity. Like, how many? And by the way, this is meant as no knock on the guy, but it's just reality. How many signed J.C. Horn posters are there in Gamecock man caves right now? How many people have a signed Israel Mukwamu print in the man cave from the Georgia game? It's just like, because people just look at that era, they're just like, don't want to embrace it. And I mean, I get it. For the most part, it sucked. So I totally get it. Which is another very interesting point. It's crazy, which I will say this because we're sitting here again. It's September the 29th. Tomorrow, obviously, last day of September, which is nuts. But I want to say thank you to everybody in attendance and everybody tuned in digitally and everybody just in general. This will be a record-setting. It already is. It's a record-setting month for the podcast. We've absolutely shattered the monthly downloads record. I mean, we've literally eclipsed the monthly download record by like 20,000 downloads, like crazy. And what's wild about that is we've been able to build this thing up and build TSUS up around a team that has not even won. So just imagine if we start winning 9 or 10 or 11 games again. Through the roof. It's addictive, man. It's addictive, you know? We all have our vices in life. Some people like to smoke. Some people like to drink to their blackout. And some people like to watch Gamecock football. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? So, I mean, whatever. Yeah, all three. Yeah. All three. So, no, it's I still feel very bullish about the direction of the program and everything. You know, this season, I don't know. Maybe it was just easier for me to stomach it because I picked us to lose to Kentucky. I don't know. Somebody says, do you see any similarities between Ace Sanders and Juju McDowell? Really early to make that type of comparison. Really early. I mean, yeah, is he fast? Sure. You know what I mean? Is he fast? Sure. But outside of that, it's it's a little early. a little early for sure. Sheesh. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like people say though. Why? Somebody commented today. They're like, "Why are we not doing with Luke Doty what we did with Connor Shaw?" And I'm like, just stop to think what you're asking. Who is Connor Shaw surrounded by? Like, hey, you put Connor Shaw on this team. I love Connor. Connor's the GOAT. Hey, contrary to what I just said about the other play, I have a Connor Shaw print in the studio. Like, yeah, Connor's the man. Connor's like my all-time favorite Gamecock. But even if you put Connor Shaw on this team, how good is Connor Shaw? I mean, really, how good is he? Because Connor Shaw wasn't Cam Newton. Connor Shaw wasn't Tim Tebow, right? Let's call it for what it is. He benefited from a great defense and great players around him. But you can't fault the guy. That means he's the greatest winner in Gamecocks history. There's no other way to put it. But, Luke Doty has a skill set, but damn, he can't do it by himself. I don't think can't do it by himself. So, SitDog9 says, if Beamer beats Troy and Vandy, he has met my expectations for the season. Well, whatever. I mean, dude, the only goal of this season is really, truly, though, on a serious note, the only goal of this season was to get the next preseason and get the next summer and still have, which that's kind of what disappoints me about, it's not the majority. It's a very small minority. But when you do what I do, it can be very loud. And I don't know, man. I'm kind of disappointed in some people. It's like you knew we were going to hit adversity, and you spent all preseason and all summer telling me how much things were different and all the positive energy, positive momentum, positive this, positive that. It's like, okay, that's fine, but like keep the same energy even when we lose. It's year one. We're not going to win every game, not even close. Nobody batted an eye when I picked Kentucky to beat us in the preseason. So why is it all crazy? Which, by the way, I said this last week, bro. I think I just know my team too well at this point because while my score wasn't exactly on point, I had 30-24 Kentucky. I picked a 6-point loss, and we lost by 6 points. So I'm getting too good at it, honestly. That's a great question. How are the first 4 games different if Luke Doty never gets hurt? You have to think the offense is better. I mean, you have to. You have to think. And God bless the people that are still out there saying Zeb Nolan should be playing. God bless you all. God bless you. Truly, God bless you. Listen, there are some people in life that you should not associate with. Those people are in that group. Your own father, yes. I'm sorry I can't associate with you anymore. If you truly think Zeb Nolan should start, I want to end this relationship. That's it. That's a deal breaker for me. Sorry. Yeah. That's a deal breaker. Oh, my gosh. If she thinks Zeb Nolan should start, it's a deal breaker. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. No. I mean, I said that too about, hey, if you have friends that are questioning Shane Beamer as our head coach, they're not your friends. Just delete their number, block them on social media. You're better off. Trust me, you're better off. So, Phil, what's going on, Phil? Finished up his first board meeting with Carolina Rugby. So, the other Phil, Clone Phil, says exactly, the offense would have more chemistry and Luke would also be faster. You can tell he's not 100% yet. Yeah, no question. You can absolutely tell he's not 100%. Yeah, there's no doubt the offense will be better. You know, I mean, you think he missed all of fall camp, basically, missed all that practice, and yeah, it killed you. Again, guys, we got Beat Troy stickers if you want them up here. You might notice no flag tonight. Left the flag at the tailgate. My buddy in Charlotte has it in his trunk. So it was a long day. It was a long day Saturday. It was a very long day. So again, I like I said though, I'm still very bullish on the prospects of this season. What can happen? Very optimistic. You know, you've got Troy this weekend. You've got Tennessee the following, Vandy the following. I picked you to start 5-2 in the preseason. You've obviously got to make progress on the offensive side, but it's still very possible, still very realistic. And again, a 5-2 start be a dream start for Shane Beamer in this football program. We're going to be selling a lot of Beamer Ball shirts if we start 5-2. I can tell you that right now. So I'm trust me, I'm pulling for it. I'm hoping it happens. So again, 843-790-3377. Clone Phil's in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Phil, Clone Phil, all the Phils. Sound Guy Phil had to dip out early, though, so Sound Guy Phil is not here. Is it really starting to get darker earlier, like that much earlier? Like, I feel like it's like, I don't know. Yeah, what's going on? Go ahead. Men's basketball. Wow, we're talking basketball. You know, at some point we're going to be here doing these, and like basketball is going to be starting. So, I mean, I have no expectations. I got to meet Frank at the Welcome Home Tour. He's an awesome dude. He is. It's not about, is Frank Martin a good basketball coach? I think Frank Martin's a good basketball coach. The question is, does his style still work? That's the question to me. You know, that abrasive, you know, Bobby Knight style, the Will Muschamp style, does that still work? So, but and it's just, here's what scares me is like, I think you need to have minimum expectations set. Like, I think we need to make the tournament. I do. I think in year 10, asking your head coach to make the tournament is not unrealistic. It's not. But, I mean, I will say this, and I guess I sound like a little bit of a hypocrite because people, I guess, were saying this about Muschamp, which is mind-blowing. But they say, you know, if you fire Frank Martin, who are you going to get that's better than Martin? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, though. But I wouldn't mind, though, if they wanted to pull the trigger. Like, if you don't make the tournament. And unfortunately for Frank Martin in his defense, you know, because you go to the Welcome Home Tour, you hear him talk. He'll talk to you about their SEC record, how many games, best 10-year run in school history, and we've done this, we've done that. And it's like, that's all true. But here's the unfortunate thing, Frank. Fans just don't give a damn if you don't make the tournament. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. I don't want to finish 4th in the SEC over the last 4 years, like record-wise. I want to go to the tournament. That's like what we care about. That's what everybody waits all college basketball season for, is the damn tournament. So if you don't make the tournament, none of what you did matters. Yeah. No, it was sick. I mean, probably my favorite game is when Carolina beat Duke. I mean, that was just incredible. I was in Charlotte. I mean, I was around Duke people. I mean, it was insane. Yeah, that was a wild time. That was a wild time. And I'll be honest with you, like, I love South Carolina basketball, but I'm not a huge basketball guy. Like, I don't watch NBA, like whatever. But, I mean, we were all into it at that point. Dude, that was incredible. That was incredible. No, just what sucks too, man, with the basketball program, it's like, because I look at it from like the standpoint of the common fan. It's like, we're not really good enough to care. I hate to say that. Like, we're just not. Yeah, but in basketball, it's like we're not good enough to care, to be truly fully invested, you know? And that's unfortunate because I think we could have a winner here, but I don't know. I think there are more deep-rooted issues behind the scenes. You know, that have more to do with Frank Martin why we're not winning. We'll put it that way. So, basketball questions. Love it, dude. I haven't gotten a basketball question. It's been forever. I've got another question here from the text line. What do you think of the idea of our offense taking advantage of Doty's athleticism and running a scheme similar to what the Oregon Ducks used to run a few years ago? Well, we don't have the speed and the talent that Oregon had when they ran that. I mean, it's players that have to run these systems and these schemes. Who's going to go out there and run it? So, who's going to go out there and run that type of system? So, again, 843-790-3377. Again, I hope to see us fail fast on offense Saturday. What I mean by that, again, go with what works. If the running game's not working early, ditch it. Let's throw the ball down the field. Let's be aggressive. It's year one. What do you have to lose? Be aggressive. I mean, I don't think you have the greatest wide receiver room in the world, but it should be better than what Troy's got on the defense. It should be better. So give guys chances to make plays. Let them go downfield. Why not? We'll see what happens. Roll the dice a little bit. So I want to see you in that polo, by the way, next home game. Not even listening to me. I want to see you in that polo. Yeah. The flag will be out Saturday on the balcony. Love that. Yeah. I tell you, man, we've only had 2 tailgates, but the Big Cock Club flag is just a hit. God, it's a hit. Oh, my God. It's incredible. Love that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of funny, man. I had a guy comment on YouTube today. The comments, you could just start a podcast just about comments on a podcast, but I think I dropped like an F-bomb or something in the podcast. The guy commented, like, just couldn't believe it. I'm like, you really couldn't believe it? Like, you're talking about I'm a guy that has a part of his business called the Big Cock Club, and I have a mullet. Like, I mean, you're shocked? Are you shocked right now? Like, are you shocked? Just stop being a bitch, dude. Stop being a bitch. All right, let's jump to the phone lines here. We got Phil waiting. Phil, what's going on? I don't even know which Phil this is anymore. What's going on, my man? How are you?
It's clone Phil 3 is who's calling in right now.
Phil 1, thing 2.
I'm pretty good, man.
Phil 1, Phil 2.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I know everybody's. It seems like it's a depressed mood over after the Kentucky game. I totally get it, man. I mean, people are upset and people are sad. I mean, but ultimately you have to look inward and say, what was your expectations and were they off base for year one in the Beamer era? Hopefully we keep this team, coming in. I know they've got some, decent players, man. So we got to get the offense firing. So whatever they've been doing isn't working right now. So got to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we get some things, some good drives together against Troy, because, I mean, if you think people are bummed out now, imagine us losing to Troy at home. It will be a shit show.
Yeah.
It's
not going to make my life very fun if Sal kind of finds a way to lose to Troy. I can tell you that right now.
It's going to be rough.
I think if that happens, Phil, I'm gonna log off for the weekend. I'm gonna log off. Y'all can have Twitter. I'm out.
Left the chat.
Yeah, I have left the chat. Nope. See you Monday. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. Did want to mention one thing. Just got off the board meeting there for Carolina Rugby. We have an alumni weekend on November the 12th through the 14th. I have just committed to go to this thing. This is the first alumni weekend that I'm ever going to attend as a former Carolina rugby player. I was kind of pretty pressured into it, but yeah, whatever. It's going to be a good time. Carolina is going to play Alabama that weekend in rugby. And by the way, the football team will be at Missouri. So,
okay.
I'd love to have you out there. I don't know exactly where I'm going to be staying yet, but I think I'm going to be in Columbia for like 4 days. We're also going to have an in-person board meeting. So yeah, it's going to be a good time, man.
Dude, love it. No, I'll definitely do everything I can to be out there. I think actually for the Mizzou game, I think we're having our watch party in Columbia too. So I should be local. Should be there that weekend.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's get together and have a good time. Yeah, just wanted to call in and say, everybody, take a deep breath. Maybe your expectations were a little bit too high. That's okay. It's time to come back down to reality here. Hopefully we can beat Troy, and let's see what happens for the rest of the season. We got a whole season left. This is still September, as Beamer said. Plenty of games to win. Gotta get the offense figured out, though. But
sky is not falling.
Might as well get it done.
Sky is not falling, Phil. That's indeed.
Amen.
Indeed. Phil, appreciate it, man. Hey, keep me updated on the alumni weekend. I know I'll see you for the Vanderbilt game, obviously, though, so we'll talk.
Yeah, go Cox.
All right, man, go Cox. Appreciate it. Always great to hear from Phil. Always great to hear from Phil. Last thing I'll say, the culture change and coaching stability will benefit South Carolina more than the difference between 5-7 and 6-6. I agree. Also, which one's more likely of an upset, Texas A&M or Clemson? Oh, man. Dude, at this point, I think you have to go Clemson. I mean, just because it's at home, too. I mean, you get them at home. Tell you what, you think we're having a bad week, though? Clemson's having a bad week. It's a bad week to be a Clemson fan. Yeah, the sky truly is falling for Clemson this week. I mean, Dabo's being exposed as a fraud, the clown he is. Love to see it. Love it. Love to see that. I really thought NC State handed them the game, though, when they missed the field goal at the end. I was like, I'm like, the lucky horseshoe. Yeah, the lucky horseshoe comes up yet again. But Wolfpack found a way. Love that. Love that for Dave Doran. Love that for NC State. I think Kirk was pretty – you were pretty happy with that result, right, Kirk? Yeah. Yeah, we were all pretty happy with it. Let's see. Alan Cook, Satterfield's got to do something with all the running backs we have. There's no sense in this. I agree, man. You got to get the – you want to get the run game going, but you just got to get something going that works. That's it. I don't care if you got to throw the football. The offensive line issues don't make any sense. Again, 4 of 5 starters returned from last year. Over 80 career starts. Fantastic backs. Plenty of depth. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make any sense. Really doesn't make any sense. So I would tell you this, though, if you can, I would urge Gamecock fans, go ahead and start buying the tickets for the South Carolina Clemson game. Let's pack it out. Unless Clemson makes some huge turnaround, they might be a 3-loss team by the time we play them. Hell, Boston College might beat them this weekend. So wouldn't that be something? See, that's the funny thing. We just lost to Kentucky. We could be 3-8 going in that game, but if Beamer beats Clemson, all would be forgiven. Nobody'd even care anymore. It's like, give him an extension. He's beat Clemson. That's it. So doesn't even matter. But yeah, Clemson's bad. They're Clemson's cheeks. They're bad. 843-790-3377. Again, we got Beat Troy stickers up here. We got the TSUS tailgate this Saturday at Seawells. Spots 93 to 96. You want to come out and have a good time? We have a very, very good time out at Seawells. Would love to see you guys out and about. Appreciate Tin Roof again having us out. $3 drafts, 50 cents wings. You guys sort of know the drill at this point. So John in Rock Hill says he'll be in section 20, seats 27 and 28. Glad you'll be in the building, John. Yeah, hoping we pack it out. I'm not naive enough to think that it's going to be a sold-out stadium on Saturday. Heck, even Kirk said he might skip out on this one. He says a good week in the streak. Oh, man. Good week in the streak indeed. James Kendall says, South Carolina and Clemson, it's like old times where we're both playing for a bowl game. Love to see that. Welcome back, boys. Welcome back. Welcome back to our side of things. Man. It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, excited for this weekend's game. That, like I said, I'm still very optimistic South Carolina can get to a bowl game. I think 5-7 is probably more likely, but you're never as bad as you seem. You're never as good as you seem. So you're somewhere in the middle. Are we as bad as getting shut out in the first half against Kentucky? I think we're better than that. I think we are. I think this weekend will be a battle, though. I'll be honest with you. I thought in the preseason Troy was the better team than East Carolina. So what does that mean? I don't know. But you're also a touchdown favorite for a reason. I mean, Vegas has been on point with our games. Odd Shark drops a spread. Week 1, 42.5. You win by 46. Week 2, you open up as 2-point favorites. Gamecock fans are freaking out. You win by 3. You're a 32-point underdog in week 3. You lose by 27. Week 4, you're a 6-point underdog. I'll be damned if you don't lose by 6. So Vegas knows what the hell they are talking about. Vegas knows, bro. What's up? I mean, I think we'd be 3-1. I mean, just Kentucky's the difference. I mean, maybe ECU's not nearly as dramatic as it was. If he's saying if the offensive line was last year's O-line, but yeah. See, it's funny you talk last year's run game because I had the very popular take on Twitter Saturday that when I tweeted I miss Mike Bobo, and Gamecock Twitter did not disappoint in their reaction. I mean, they really didn't. But I was just sitting there. I'm like, God, I miss being able to run the football. I guess, that's the conversation no South Carolina fan wants to have. Like, was Mike Bobo just that much of a genius in schematics calling offense? Like, was he just – I mean, because something – I mean, I think he was. As much as we hate to say it, I think he was. I'm not saying Mike Bobo's not a snake, but he's a snake that knows how to call a run game. Both can be true, right? Those are not mutually exclusive things. Greg Atkins, again, I think it falls on all parties. I think you got to look. You can't just blame one guy, one coach. Hey, it falls on Sat, Greg Atkins, the players, everybody involved. So we'll jump back to the phone lines here. We actually have a call from John. John, what's up, man? You're up. Don't let us down. What's going on?
You were talking about Mike Bobo. And I think this is just, I want to get into the status real quick. Maybe I was one of those people, I'm going to man up to admit it. Maybe I just wanted Mike Bobo gone and not to come back this year because he didn't play Ryan Holinsky. And now that we know Ryan Holinsky, no offense to him, he can't win the starting job at Northwestern. Maybe that's why a lot of our fans were upset. Because he didn't play Ryan, and
yeah, I definitely think the Holinsky thing is the big reason why people didn't like Mike Bobo. That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, and looking at it now, like I said, he can't win a job at another school.
Yeah, no, that's
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never thought about it until tonight, but.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the reason is definitely the Holinsky situation. No question.
No, yeah, and didn't you say something about that Bobo wanted Doty in like what week?
Yeah. So that's what people don't know is so I got a really good buddy of mine that works personnel at Georgia, and he's still there. Really good buddy. I actually had a place to stay in Athens and a ticket if I wanted to go to the game, but we were throwing a watch party or whatever. Which our bye week, by the way, this is a total side note. Our bye week is October the 30th. That's Florida, Georgia. Bro, I might go. Why not? But nah, yeah, he knows Bobo very well, and he was like, man, he's like, I'll tell you, like Bobo was saying that week 2 he knew like, yo, Doty's the guy. Like we need to put Doty in. It was Muschamp that wanted Colin Hill to play. So take it for what it's worth. But Bobo was listen. I don't love I'm glad things happened the way they did, but I don't think Bobo was that bad in regards to like knowing offensive football.
No, absolutely. He knows how to call plays. I just think it was not football stuff. It was not playing. I
Again, is he a snake? That's fair, but you can be a good play caller and a snake. You know what I mean? You know, there are many people out there that are really good at what they do, and they're also awful human beings or whatever. So.
Oh, yeah. All right. I just want to call. I was thinking about Bobo. Maybe maybe I should let it go. It's like, yeah, he didn't end up playing the. What would is it? Let me ask you. Do you think it was a stretch last year to say Helinski was the third best QB on the team last year?
No, I think that's exactly where he was. Yeah, Helinski was QB3. Yeah, it's exactly where he was.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. What a fall! What a fall from grace.
It came. I'm not trying to bash the kid or anything. It's just like I said, can't even win a job at it.
Yeah.
Out of school and get beat up by a former Tiger.
Yeah. Just rubbing salt in the wound, right? Just that's the reality. It's the reality. You're correct.
No, it is. Oh yeah. What time does Clemson play Saturday? Not the same time.
Honestly,
right?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'd have to check. I have no clue.
Yeah. Actually, give me a call. Sorry, Chris. Let me. Oh wow, they're gonna play till 7:30.
Oh, okay. So night game. Well, hopefully they lose.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully they lose for sure. John, I appreciate the call as always, my friend. I'm sure I'll hear you tomorrow night calling into Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer. So.
Yeah, if I can save a question, but
$3 drafts, 50-cent wings. Having a real good time here on a Wednesday night. Says, which target/recruit are you most excited about and hopeful for? Probably Oscar Delp. Hopefully we can get him. I think that would be that would certainly be a shot in the arm the Gamecocks fan base needs. Getting Oscar Delp, getting that, that's the type of momentum in recruiting you really do need to have. And, I wish Oscar Delp would have been at the Kentucky game instead of the Troy game. I don't know that he's going to get quite the experience that I would like him to get, but either way, I think it'd be a huge shot in the arm to get Delp for sure. Let's see. Need to pass more on first down, whether we run or have an incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd and 10 anyways. Good point. Yeah, more aggressive for sure. South Carolina is just not built to win in those 3rd and longs, those 3rd and 7, 8, 9s, obvious passing situations. So whatever you can do to get in the 3rd and shorts and open up the playbook, you got to do it. You got to do it. And again, at some point, you hate to say it, you don't want to just ditch the running game, but man, if it's not working, you just got to ditch the running game in my mind. You got to try something else. Maybe we're not built to throw it 40, 50 times a game and win, but you got to try something different. So make an adjustment. Marcus Satterfield, all those involved, make an adjustment. That's it. All you can ask for in life's the opportunity, and that's what they have this weekend, to make an adjustment and make a positive adjustment and react the right way and, put up some numbers and put up some points. And, you got to, because if you can't do it against Troy, Javon Solomon, a fantastic pass rusher. What is their freaking – let me see. I've got their stats pulled up actually. This kid, Carlton Marshall, who had in 10 games, he had 113 tackles for them. He's already in 4 games got 32 tackles with 4.5 tackles for loss. They've got some good players. I mean, they've definitely got some good players. Their quarterback has already thrown for over 1,000 yards. Yeah, already thrown for 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And I mean, their head coach is Chip Lindsey, who I don't know if you remember that name, but he was at Auburn. I mean, the guy knows offense. He's one of the better offensive minds out there. So they'll be ready. They'll be ready to play. No question. I think Troy will come in expecting to win, actually. Doesn't mean they will, but yeah. I can't wait to watch us win 17-10 on Saturday. It's going to be great. Great. Have to sugarcoat that in some way. It's fantastic. Yep. The sky isn't falling, but yeah. So Doug Antley on that note commented on Facebook. He said, Gamecocks suck. So there you go. Yeah, Let's see. Says last Kentucky tournament, 1st and 10, 2-yard loss on a run up the middle. We needed to play action deep ball. I will tell you that, I'm not ready to come down on Satterfield with the play calling. I think there's more issues than that, but it did feel like, you get 3 turnovers. It's just like, I wish we had that killer instinct, that Spurrier take a shot, go deep. Like, you just knew with Spurrier, when that happened, we're taking a shot. We know it. You know it. Here it comes. You know what I mean? So just err on the side of aggression, which, again, is why I did not mind seeing Shane Beamer go for it on 4th down. I didn't mind seeing Shane Beamer, err on that side. And, hey, it didn't work. Sometimes it's not going to work. If it works, though, we're saying how much of a genius he is. And, oh, man, Shane Beamer trusts his players. He's aggressive. I love that. But because a player drops a pass, hits him in the hands, now we're saying something else. So, and I think the hope the Gamecock fans have to have is, hey, you're recruiting a guy like Landon Sampson, right, who looks like a stud right now. Maybe Landon Sampson catches that ball, right? So I didn't hate the call at all. I will tell you, though, again, I enjoy talking about it, but, I am so sick of talking about Kentucky. Because, last week we lost to Georgia, and, dude, we got to Monday. People were like, let's start talking about Kentucky. Nobody wanted to talk about Georgia. All we've been talking about all week is Satterfield. How do you lose to Kentucky? Shane Beamer. It's just like, bro, the game happened. It's over. It sucks. It's over, though. And I guess maybe if we were playing somebody other than Troy this weekend, it'd be different. People would rather dwell on the Kentucky loss than look ahead to Troy and talk matchups and keys to the game, which, I did that. Starting tomorrow. I'm not talking about Kentucky tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it all week. Tomorrow's podcast is all Troy. I'm talking Troy. I'm not talking Kentucky anymore. That's it. Who's going, offensively, defend everything? Who goes? Who has a big game? Who goes off on offense? Yeah, no, seriously. Well, I tried to say Jaheim Bell last week, and that just completely blew up in my face. Man. You know who I think is going to go off Saturday? E.J. Jenkins. I think he's finally going to get involved. Bro, the Troy linebackers, I don't think they have a linebacker that's taller than 5'11". Just give me all that. Give me all that. Give me all that smoke. I want all that smoke. And at some point, it's like, dude, a guy like E.J. Jenkins, I've been saying all season, people are like, where's E.J. Jenkins? And I'm like, oh, he's adjusting from the FCS level to this level. But it's like, dude, you know what? At some point, we need your big ass to go make a play. 6', 7.5. We need you to go make a play, bro. We'll throw it up. You go catch it. If you don't catch it, tough, but we're going to try, Go make a play. Go make a play, dude. Bottom line. Shut up and go make a play. That's it. Now, I think EJ could have I think EJ at some point, he's not going to be obviously at this point, he's not going to be 1,000-yard receiver, but I could see him having a big game at some point where he really blows up and has a big game at minimum. Not a ton. I think he had a catch last weekend. One single catch. Yeah. I'll tell you this, man. Give props where it's due. I've been impressed with Jalen Brooks. I think he's kind of coming to his own nicely. Maybe he's that second guy, outside of Van. But of course, we're still not dynamic enough at that position. We don't have enough dynamic playmakers at receiver. And again, it's no fault of Beamer. No fault of Beamer. So I'll tell you this. Hey, since we're just talking about guys, I want to see more of Amarian Brown. I would like to see Amarian Brown get Dak Joyner's reps at this point because, yeah, Brown's the tech transfer. Love Dak Joyner. Glad he stayed at Carolina. He's not a wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver. He's just not. He's just not. And it's okay, I'm not a pro golfer as much as I'd like to be, but I'm not. You know what I mean? He's not a wide receiver, bro. None of us went to Harvard in here, as much as we might like to, Yeah, true. Good point. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines. We've actually got a call here. Dalton calling in for the second time. Today. Love to see that. What's up, my man?
Hey, man. I wanted to call you because you know, finished all my schoolwork up, so just
You're at Carolina, right?
I don't live there, but I am a graduate student there. So
there we go. Go Cox.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I wanted to call you and sort of switch up the conversation a little bit from Carolina football to Carolina basketball. And my question is sort of, what do you think both Frank Martin and Dawn Staley, what kind of seasons do you think both of them are going to have to classify that as a successful season for them?
Frank Martin, Dawn Staley, what type of seasons are they going to have and need to have successful seasons? Dalton, I'm gonna take the question off the phone lines if that's cool with you. We'll just tune into the live stream. We'll answer it there. Cool. Good deal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All right. Appreciate you. Hey, appreciate the call, Dalton. Seriously. Yeah. So Carolina basketball. What type of seasons will they have? Need to have all that good stuff. Well, first off, I don't know if Dawn Staley's team is going to lose a game. Honestly, dude, their team is filthy. They bring everybody back, plus they add the number 1 recruiting class, Kirk? Number 1? Bro, who's going to beat them? I mean, I guess they do have some big games. I think they play UConn again. So it could realistically, though, they're going to win a lot. They're going to win a lot. Yeah. So, and, the expectations with Carolina women's basketball are pretty much set, man. Win a national title. That's anything short of that, and that's just what the expectations are. So win a national championship. That's what Dawn Staley's team needs to do, expected to do. What a great situation to be in. Frank Martin's squad, that's a little bit of a different story. I think the expectation, I think it needs to be getting to the tournament. Bottom line, you got to get to the NCAA tournament, man. I know your team it's a huge transition year, turnover year, whatever you want to call it, but getting the tournament's it's paramount. What type of season do I think they'll have? Well, I haven't made my predictions for the season, but my expectations are going to be very tame. The last 3 years before this one, I picked you to make the tournament because I thought, hey, you got these guards, you got this combo of guys, and it's never happened. So I'm going to say you'll probably be another 500, kind of a typical Frank Martin season. You'll lose a dumb non-conference game you shouldn't. You'll try to rebound and salvage the season in conference play, and you'll just sort of end up where you've been the last 3 or 4 years. So, I will say, whatever it means, though, Frank Martin did look me in the face at the Welcome Home Tour and said, we're going to be better. So, well, Coach, we won 6 games last year, so I would hope so. I would certainly hope so. I would, if not, you're going to be probably the next mid-season firing. You know what I mean? So, this has been great stuff. Again, I love the South Carolina basketball questions. Love that. We're already talking. We lose to Kentucky, and people are like, hey, what about basketball? Make South Carolina sports great again when we're not looking ahead to the next sport in mid-season of a sport happening. Because it's just because it was that would happen. Football last year, hey, when does basketball start? Basketball last year, hey, when does baseball start? It's can we just get through a season and then worry about the next season when it's actually happening? It's insane, man. It has really been wild seeing people's reactions this week, losing to Kentucky. It's just nuts. It's nuts. Oh, I agree. But, yeah, for sure. But people have been saying, too, we were the better team. We just didn't capitalize. No. The better team, if they win the turnover margin 3-0 at home at night, they win the game. The better team wins that game. I could flip it on its head and say, bro, we won the turnover margin 3-0 at home at night and still lost. What does that say about us? What if the turnover margin's even in that game? Bro, we might get blown out. Really? So, whatever. It's done. It's done. That game is done. John Kruger says, the Dak Joyner experiment at wide receiver is over. Listen, I love the kid, man. I think he has a skill set that can be used on this football team, but it's not being a pure wide receiver. Like it's not being the third wide receiver on the depth chart. That's not what it is. You know, maybe he goes out there this weekend and has like 200 receiving yards, and I look like a complete fool, but I doubt it. So I doubt it. I severely doubt it. So he's like a pitcher that throws 84 that wants to hit 90 one day, and it's like, you just ain't got it, my guy. I don't care how much long tossing you do, 90's not in there. It's not in there. Yes, Delp will be visiting this weekend and committing 11 days later. So I don't know who's hosting him on his visit, but they better pull out all the stops. I don't know if Kirk's got any more $100 handshakes left, but we could use them. All of them. Every single one of them. Give him a blank check. Say whatever it takes, write it down. You're coming here. Yeah. Just give him your credit card for the weekend. Tell him to come to Tin Roof and run it up. Oh, man. Maybe we should get Delp in studio for an interview. Tell us why you're going to pick Carolina. So, no. Over, under, I would say over, under in attendance, 60,000. I mean, there were 64,000 at the first game, and that was EIU, and that was Beamer's opener. So, yeah. Again, I think, unfortunately, a lot of Gamecock fans just sold their stock after last weekend. They're done, which is so stupid. Nobody listens to me. Nobody. Nobody listens to me. They just don't listen. They don't want to hear it. Do what? Yeah, Gamecock. You're talking about this past weekend, right? Gamecock was sick, yeah. Gamecock Walt was sick. And I will say this. We were talking a little bit off air as we got less than 10 minutes to go. Time flies when you're having fun. I will say, though, like I really do feel for the fan base. I feel for the fan base because, you know, the game was hyped up all week and be early, be loud, come to Gamecock Walk, do this, do that, be excited. And it's like, do all that for what? To get shut out in the first half? I mean, what in the world? Like, you know, so I get it. I get it, man. Listen, when you boil it down to it, South Carolina football and college football and sports, it's entertainment. It's a product. And if the product's not there, like, people just don't want to show up. Like, that South Carolina's not the only school fighting that reality. I mean, even the elites that are winning can't pack out the stadium like they used to. A lot of them can't. Some of them can, but a lot of them cannot. You know, I mean, Alabama, they still pack it out, but that's because what the hell else is there to do in Alabama? What are you going to go do in Alabama? I guess you can go hunt or go fish, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, somebody said low to mid 60,000. I hope. But I just, please don't have the upper decks like barren. Sanford was rocking that night. Sanford was rocking. And you know what sucks? Delp was at that game. Yeah, of course. Somebody just asked, by the way, I don't have the answer. Does Tin Roof have a shot called the cock shot? I doubt it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to read that. Nope, absolutely not. Yeah, I don't think you want to go up to your bartender and say, "Can I get a cock shot?" It's like, all right, you asked for it. Just yeah. Yeah, Bravos, three games. The magic number. The countdown is on. 3 games for the Bravos. Love it. Love it again. Like I said, less than 10 minutes to go, man. Like I said, I'm very excited for this game this Saturday. I think seeing this team respond to adversity the right way, that's what I want to see more than anything. Just see these guys respond to adversity the right way. You've hit real adversity. You got punched in the face. You got punched in the mouth. You knew it was going to happen. I hope our team responds better than our fan base. I can tell you that, because our fan base is just done. You know, folded like a cheap blanket. Done. So go out there, win by 3 touchdowns. All of a sudden, we're great again. You know, we're great again. We're going to win the national championship again. I will say on the flip side, though, I did see a guy today on Facebook that commented and said that he's like, I still think we're going 8-4. I was like, good on you. Good on you for thinking that. Good on you. That's probably Kirk's account. Kirk picks us to lose, or Kirk picks us to win every game until we lose it. That's it. Every game's a win for Kirk until it's a loss. That's it. I mean, that's got to be the only way you show up week after week. You know? No, see, I think it'll be a fun. I think South Carolina will, you know, has a great opportunity to move to 3-2. Again, I haven't locked in an official prediction or anything, but Troy will come in looking for a fight, and I think they're going to battle us. Certainly, I don't think South Carolina's the point where they're going to blow anyone out. I mean, there's a reason you're a 7-point favorite, but yeah. So, you got some? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. The 9-4 year, the way it got started. Who did we lose to again? 2-2 start? That's right. We lost to Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, that was the blackout. Yo, I was there. You talk about demoralizing. Yeah. They had Benny Snell. That was when he looked at the camera like this, like he looked up at the camera, and yeah. And Jake Bentley had the flop. He had the big flop or whatever. Ortre Smith caught a touchdown. That's how long ago that was. Ortre Smith was still catching touchdowns. Yeah, so it's possible, man. It's a long season, and that's the biggest thing. We just want to see progress, getting better week to week. You know, at least allow them to make progress. That's all I'm saying. Allow them to make progress. Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Mizzou, definitely. Mizzou, Tennessee. I thought that was the best opportunity for an upset, but, I mean, yeah, A&M maybe. God, what's happened to A&M? I thought A&M was going to go 11-1. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I thought they were going to go 11-1, man. So. Yeah, go ahead, man. Beat Troy Stiggers. Take them, my dude. Take them. Take them, absolutely. Yes, dude, thank you for bringing that up. Yes. Perfect game. The Gamecocks baseball recruiting class, 9th in the country. I think Baseball America had them like 11th or so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, recruiting's good. Yeah, recruiting's good. No, and I was out there. I was out there last Friday. I'll be out there this Friday for the scrimmages. A lot of new guys look good. Yeah, Eister back. Braswell looked good. The new, freshman. I mean, we got some guys. I got some sticks. So, just first scrimmage last week, but we I think we'll be good this year. I think we will. Yeah, as long as the bats come around. Yeah. Yeah. You just can't hit 240. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you this from what I've heard that with the new coaching staff, the goal is like the gorilla ball is gone. It's going to be a lot more focused on average and hit it, base hits and being productive hitters. And I don't really blame our guys totally. It's just the culture of baseball. I mean, like everybody wants to hit bombs. They watch Giancarlo Stanton, and they watch all these guys in the big leagues just hit 7,000-foot homers, and that's all everybody wants to do. And it's like the value of being a really productive ball player has been lost. It just has. So, but in the college game, like you need that. You need productive players. So hopefully, I think we will get back to that. I still like Kingston. I like the staff he hired, and yeah, as long as you can swing it. I mean, and your schedule sets up nicely too. You don't play LSU, you don't play Arkansas, you don't play Mississippi State. I mean, I'll take that in a heartbeat. So, yeah. Yeah, just couldn't swing it, especially on a Friday night. You could not swing it on a Friday night. I think we went 2-8 in Friday night games in the SEC. So. Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. Dude, I'm excited for this season. I think we got some good guys. Yeah, I agree. Great insight, great perspective. Hey, that's a great place to end it on, too, because it's 7 o'clock, and, yeah, we're going to get after it tonight. Again, appreciate y'all coming out. Make sure you tip your bartender. 50-cent wings, $3 drafts. Having a good time here at Tin Roof. Those who tuned in digitally, appreciate you. Come out to the TSUS tailgate at Seawells. Spots 93 to 96. Going to have a really, really good time. It's always a great time. We'll be out there in the morning, going all day long. Flags will be flying. Again, folks, thank you all so much for coming out, tuning in. I'm Chris Phillips, the Spurs Up Show. Y'all take care. Let's beat Troy this weekend, huh? Let's beat Troy. Why not?